Alright, so if you don't have two of the same letter, that's when you have to use law of cosines. Here's the formulas. You'll have to know these for your test, but we'll practice memorizing that today. So again, law of sines when you have two of the same letter, law of cosines when you have all different letters, such as ABC. Alright. So on number 1, or for all of these first ones, the directions say determine whether you need to use law of sines or law of cosines and then solve the triangle. So tell me what we do have on number 1. Angle C or side C? Good. What else do we have? Side A. Okay, so if we have two of the same letter, we're going to use what? Law of sines, because we have angle C and side C. So tell me how to set that up. Over equals sine A over. Very good. To solve for A, I would have to cross multiply. So that would look like this. 18 sine 25 equals 8 sine A. How would I solve for A right here? Divide by 8. Very good. Alright, this is how I type it in. You can type it in however you want. 18 sine 25 divided by 8. You should get this number. Is this our answer? Alright, because we're solving for a what? So we'd have to use what? Yes. And a lot of y'all, this is another misconception, are rounding this off too soon. Y'all are putting like 0.95. You need to not round off till at least like the 5 or 6 places after the decimal. But an easier way, instead of typing it in, is to hit what button? Second, and then what? This negative right here, because it has the answer above it. Second, then that negative sign. Then hit enter. Alright, so what did we just solve for? Angle A, and it is what? 72 degrees. Good. Okay. So what do y'all want to solve for next? Angle B. Good choice, because we can just subtract 180 minus 72 minus 25, right? Go ahead and do that. What'd you get? 83. Alright, what's left to find? Side B. Alright, so I can just use the same setup that I started with, except instead of 18, I can put what? B. And instead of sine A, what is the degree of B? Very good. So go ahead and cross multiply and solve for B on your own right here with this equation. What did we get? Very good. Don't forget with sides, round to the nearest tenth. Should have got 18.8. Is there anybody whose calculator didn't give them this? Alright. Any questions about that? Moving on then. This next one, tell me what we have. Side B, angle C, and law of sines or law of cosines? Good, because we have 3 different letters. We have A, B, C. So we're using law of cosines because we really can't use law of sines on this one. Let's try. I'll show you. Don't write this down. Tell me how you would have to set up this for using law of sines. Sine 128 over what? C. Pick a letter you want to solve for. B, so it'd have to be sine B over 4. See how we have 2 letters involved? That's why we can't use law of sines on this. We have to use law of cosines. So there's really no way you can forget. If you try to set up law of signs and you can't do it, you have to use this one. Okay? Now, there's 3 different formulas. There's one with a squared, b squared, and c squared. How do you know which formula to use? You look at what angle you're given. We're given angle what? So we're going to use c squared. So again, the angle we're given is c, we're going to use c squared. So let's go ahead and set that up, and I would write it up here so we'll have some room. Alright, first one is c squared, and lowercase letters represent what here? Sides. Do we have side c? So we'll leave it as c squared. We do have b squared. That's going to be what? Good. Plus a squared. What is a squared? Good. Next part of the formula is minus 2 times a times b. So go ahead and find 2 times a times b. What would that give us? Good. Next part is cosine of c, which is cosine of, which is, very good. Alright, now if you have a TI 83 or 84, you can just type this in like you see it. So for example, you would just type in 16 plus 81 minus 72 cosine 128. Everybody should get this number. Let me know if you don't. So if you didn't have this calculator, you would have to add these first and then type in whatever this is minus 72 cosine 128. Everybody get this? Okay, but that is what that we just found. C squared, so we have to do what with that? Good. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that in the calculator. This is how I do it. I just hit raise to, and if I'm taking the square root, I just raise it to the what power? 1/2, 0.5. So C is what? 11.9. Very good. C equals 11.9. Alright, now we have side C, angle C, side B, side A. So what can we use to find angle A and angle B? Law of sines, because now we have 2 C's, right? So anytime we use law of cosines, you can automatically use law of sines afterwards. But here's the tricky part. And I didn't know this till last period, guys. It was just a really weird class period. I'm going to have to just reteach this more to them. You will get different answers depending on what angle you solve for. Like if you were to solve for, and Logan was in there, he knows. If you were to solve for side A, or angle A first, you could get something completely different, but it'd be correct. Actually, it wouldn't be. Let me show you an example. Alright, let me get my paper from last class. And I couldn't figure it out, but then apparently there's a rule that the book didn't mention, and I'd never heard of. But now I know, so y'all won't be confused. We had one like this. I don't know if you can, let me box this in so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the one we were working on. And we used law of sines to find A, so everybody got this answer. This one was good. Okay, I went ahead and solved for angle C and got 64, and then I subtracted them from 180 and got 75. And this is correct, and half the class got this. Then the other half of the class solved for angle B first, and they got angle B is 23, angle C is 116. And this worked also. Can anybody tell me which one's correct? Can't believe I didn't notice it before. Which one's the real answer? The first one? The second one. Why is the second one right, Connor? C's what now? Obtuse. Why does it have to be 116 and not 64? No. How do we know that this is supposed to be the hypotenuse? Because it's the biggest what? Side, right? If this was A and we found it and it's correct, this is 5.1, then this is the biggest side, so this has to be the what? Biggest angle. And this one, what I did, it was the smallest one. Everybody see that? This one's actually correct. So here's how you avoid this. Always solve for the smallest side first. Okay, so this one we had 3 and 7. I would do B first because it has the smallest side. Does that make sense? Okay, let's look back at this one. So let's write that up here so we won't forget. Smallest angle / side first. So we won't forget. Smallest angle / side first. So here in number 2, we have a choice of finding angle A or angle B. Look at the sides. Which one's smaller, A or B? B is smaller, so that's the one we have to solve for first. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay? So we're using what to solve for angle B? Law of sines. So we would set it up as sine 128 over, good, equals sine B over 4. Good. Alright, so cross multiply. We'll get 4 sine 128 equals 11.9 sine B. Then you would divide both sides by what here? Good. You're also going to have to use what since we're solving for an angle? Yes. Go ahead and find that on your own. Alright, what'd y'all get? 15 degrees. Very good. B is 15 degrees. Did anybody not get that? Okay, the only thing left to find is what? A, and we just do what for this one? Subtract. Good. 180 minus 128 minus 15. And that'll give us what? Excuse me. 37 degrees. Let's do like 2 more together, then I'll let you practice them on your own. Any questions about this one? Alright, the next one, what are we given? All the sides, which is 3 different letters, so we're going to have to use what? Cosines. Now the formulas, we have a squared, b squared, and c squared. For this one, is there an angle for us to go by? So we can use whatever one y'all want to. So which one do y'all want to use? C? So c squared. Also, what can we do to make our life easier right here? Simplify. So what can go into all of these? So this one, this one, this one, and Peanut says she wants to use c squared, so we're going to use c squared. So what is c squared? 64. Very good. I'm going to write this up here. So we got 64 equals, the next part would be a squared. Wait, we used, a squared plus b squared. So that'll be blank plus blank plus, good, minus 2 times 10 times 11. So that's going to be what? Cosine of c degrees. Very good. Alright, what are we trying to solve for? Angle C, right? We need to get it by itself. So what do we need to move first? Or what do we need to do first? Sorry. Alright, can we combine 121, 100, and negative 220? Just what? Good. So what do I get when I add those together? Alright, how do I get C by itself next? What was it? Very good. Subtract 221 from both sides. So what's 64 minus 221? 167? 157. Equals negative 220 cosine C. What next? Very good. Next. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, you can do that. So cosine inverse, and then you type in 157 over 220, or negative over a negative, either one. And what did we get? That's what I got. So 44 degrees. What did we just solve for again? Angle C. So that is 44 degrees. Questions on that part? Alright, now what is the smallest side? Yeah, but we already solved for the angle. Yes, so we're going to use what to solve for angle B? Law of sines. So it's going to be sine over equals sine over. Very good. Go ahead and find B on your own. What did we get? 60? Very good. Go ahead and find A. What did we get? Very good. And this matches up because what's the biggest angle here? A. What's the biggest side? A. What's the middle angle? 60. This is the middle side. This is smallest angle, smallest side. So it all works out. Any questions on law cosines? Before I let you practice on your own, we're going to practice memorizing the formulas right quick. Okay? So take a look at them. Alright, flip them over. Don't look at them. I'm going to start the first part off, and then I'm going to ask somebody to just tell me the very next term, not the whole thing, okay? Alright, Alex. I'll start it off. A squared equals? Next term, Sim? Close. Plus C squared. Alright, Darius is not here. Caleb?
Minus 2 A, or no, BC.
Good. Amy. Cosine. Very good. Okay, same thing. Abigail Canada, I'll start it off. Good. Abigail 1. Good. Connor.
Minus 2 C.
Julia. Good. Alright, last one. Plunkett, I'll start it off. Good. Catherine. Very good. And it doesn't matter what order these go in. Simon.
Minus 2 BC. No, BA.
Good. Or AB, doesn't matter. Cosine. Good. See, they're pretty easy to remember. Anybody want to try the whole thing on their own? Come on. Go ahead, Hood. Yeah, do one of them on your own. Okay. Don't look at it. Okay. Good. Anybody else? Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine B.
Very good. Alright, somebody? Okay.
C squared equals B squared plus A minus 2 AB cosine C.
Very good. Y'all think y'all got those for your tests? Cool. Okay, so the problems that you are working, I want you to do 1, 2, and 4 on the back. 1, 2, and 4, then we'll stop and go over the answers, okay?